you question whether if there's no light in space, because space is a vacuum, right? Then how is there
I just
light
don't
on
understand it. Like, look, and I'm not a genius. You know?
Well, we know that.
Well, I'm a genius in my own right, but how is there no light in space, all right, but every day on Earth isn't dark?
Well, I can see what you're saying, but you have times like in Alaska where half the year it's dark, and then the other half it's always bright. Like, so
yeah, but how's every day not dark if there's no light in space?
Nah, it
Seems valid.
seems valid to me. Like, I'm not a scientist, but
We should get someone on
we should
to
get
figure
one on
this
it.
out.
You want to call Neil
We'll call
Armstrong
Neil.
or Buzz?
Yeah.
Me and Neil
Hawkins.
have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So maybe I should know this.
Yeah, for sure. Kentucky falls to St. Peter's. We'll discuss what this means for Coach Cal's future. Davante Adams becomes a Raider. And of course, we're taking questions from the Booster Club and making bets that are going to fill up your pocket like a Hot Pocket segment. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. One of college basketball's bluest bloods fell to St. Peter's, a school of 2,300, in the first round of the NCAA tournament yesterday and set many brackets around the country on fire. But there's a bigger problem after seeing this David versus Goliath defeat for Kentucky. The problem is head coach John Calipari and his lack of titles and doing less with more than just about anybody. It's almost a Charmin commercial. Recruiting is one of the most pivotal things a coach can do. And Coach Cal can recruit like a madman. We're not doubting that. And Kentucky as a brand recruits itself, like Bama in football. The problem is, Calipari has had college basketball's best roster more times than not, and only has one title to show for it. Here are just a few names that have played at Kentucky. Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Malik Monk, Jamal Murray, and DeMarcus Cousins. So basically half the NBA. And that's just scratching the surface, to be honest. Kentucky struggles with in-game adjustments. And as animated as Cal gets on the sidelines, and he gets out-coached on the regular against lesser talent. We see it almost every year. With the talent they have, you're going to win games by default. It's gravity. It's science. But Kentucky fans aren't happy with just winning games or making the tournament. They expect championships. And with the rosters and the money that they're paying Cal, they damn well should. I don't think Cal should be fired. Kentucky's going to bring in another stellar recruiting class this year, full of more stars than the Zeta Reticula system. But at what point do we question his ability to get it done on the bench during the games? As I said last year and the year before when we launched this show like Elon, the best coach in Lexington is Mark Stoops. And I'm starting to think it may not even be that close. All right, Cone. Blaine Crane, my other co-host. Here's my thing. I'm not saying Cal is a bad coach. He's an elite recruiter. But Kentucky can recruit itself. So you have a great recruiter at a place where it's very easy to recruit because it's one of basketball's most traditional places. People know Kentucky growing up. If you're a basketball prospect from the West Coast, the Midwest, the Northeast, hell, Europe, Africa, you know who Kentucky is. It's just part of the deal. But he gets out-coached as much as anybody when it matters against lesser talent. St. Peter's isn't even on the spectrum with Kentucky from a size, speed, and ability, resources standpoint, and he got out-coached and outmaneuvered. And again, you can flail all you want, and you can razzle-dazzle him on the sideline like Coach Cal does, and he went on a show the other day, or a couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and the host questioned his ability from X's and O's. And he had to go on there and say, well, you know what they call me? They call me the magician. Well, if you're the magician, then I don't think you're Alliance certified, to quote Job off Arrested Development, because last year was a disaster. But I'll give you a bye for that one, just because of kind of the way it went down. This year, you got Oscar Tshiebwe. You're as hot as anybody basically going into the NCAA tournament. You've got a complete team, but you make no adjustments. And you look at all the stars they've had, and you've only won one. Eventually, you run into a team that has talent mixed with coaching. That talent doesn't have to be as talented as yours. yours is, because a coach can have a big effect. And he better be thanking Anthony Davis every single day or he'd have none. Because Kentucky fans, listen, winning the SEC is great. It's great. But when you get to the NCAA tournament, Kentucky fans aren't happy with, oh, hey, we made it to the Sweet 16. And you're not going to win the national championship every year. I'm not saying that. But Coach Cal falls flat on his face more than anybody when he comes up against somebody that knows what they're doing more than he does.
It seems to be a new problem, though, right? Because his career, it looks like a tale of two halves here at Kentucky. The first 6 years he was there, they made 4 Final Fours. I know it's only one championship, but 4 Final Fours in the first 6 years and 0 in the past 7. To me, I mean, does that indicate a new problem here? Because it clearly wasn't an issue the first 6 seasons.
Okay. Well, let's break this down. Final Fours, it depends on, to me, if we were talking about a run-of-the-mill school or maybe a blue blood school that had struggled for a long time and then got back up to prominence with Coach Cal, I think that's one thing. But a lot of guys have won at Kentucky. A lot of coaches have won at Kentucky. And you make those Final Fours, you win one championship. To me, it's almost like going to the Super Bowl 7, 8 times and not winning it. Or win it once. And people will say, oh, well, Jerry West went to 9 NBA championships, only won 1. That's a player. I'm talking about a coach. When you look at some of the teams that Coach Cal has had, a Final Four should be expected. That, as crazy as it sounds, that should be almost the floor with that talent. And I know basketball's a weird sport and it's a single elimination tournament, but over the aggregate of all of it, like you're saying, tale of two halves, right? I would have never said this.
Sure.
First 6, 7 years into Coach Cal's tenure. But the other half of it, now that we're seeing it, we've seen coaches have success and then not know how to evolve as the game has evolved. So look, eventually you got to call a spade. And they're paying him, what, $8 million a year?
Oh, he's getting paid.
$8 million a year to lose to St. Peter's?
Well, the thing about it, which I would have said, I wouldn't call it an excuse, but Kentucky and Cal has a lot of one-and-dones. A lot of guys.
Not this team. Not this team.
Hold on. That's why I said I would have used this as an excuse, but this is Cal's oldest team, right? And you lose to a St. Peter's team that's not even close. You're an 18.5-point favorite, and Kentucky looked timid. Mostly that entire game. The one-and-dones, when we go to the tournament, what matters in the tournament? Experience. You win championships based most of the time off the tournament of being experienced players. The one-and-dones that he's had are phenomenal basketball players, but being there before and knowing what it takes sometimes puts you over the edge in basketball, especially in the tournament. I mean, but Oscar's a junior this year. You have old guys on this team, and you couldn't get out of the first round. So it's getting to the point now where Cal's running out of excuses that he can make to reason why they're not winning national champions.
Yeah, and I always look, the best coaches, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball, soccer, are the ones that can adjust in game. Because everybody has a game plan. When you have a week of prep, or 2 weeks of prep, or 3 weeks of prep, you got a game plan. That's plenty enough time. And some guys are great at making game plans. But when that game starts, and either they come out in something different, or what you're doing's not working, that's when you find out who really knows. Who really knows. We can use examples like Alabama football. You want to know what makes these coaches great? They can go in at halftime and say, all right, guys, here's what they're doing. Here's what we're not doing. They're doing something we didn't expect, or they're doing exactly what we expected, and we aren't doing what we expect. And then they can get in there and make the adjustments necessary to be able to transform the game into an advantageous situation for them. When I look at Cal and I see Kentucky play, and I'm talking about the whole season, I don't see a whole lot of adjustments. The only adjustments I think Coach Cal makes is on the Tempur-Pedic at home when he's trying to get the bed right so he doesn't upset his wife when they're sleeping next to each other.
Well, how will this culminate? Because I talked to 3 diehard Kentucky fans this morning after this loss. They said a lot of the same things we're saying, but they all still say, but we still want Coach Cal.
That's why I said at the top of the show, I'm not saying you fire him. What I'm saying is, can we finally start to say that Coach Cal, not as a recruiter, but as an actual X's and O's adjustment-making guy, is overrated? He is.
But you can't have one without the other. You two were coaches, right? Half of coaching is recruiting, and half of coaching is that development of that. So what do you do? What do you do in that case?
Well, if you're an elite recruiter and not a great X's and O guy, you should have a great X's and O guy.
Yeah, who's your guy? Who's your Bagger Vance?
Have that guy.
Who's your Bagger Vance? What club do I use and where do I hit it?
Yeah.
But I don't know if Cal's ego will allow that to happen.
Okay.
Because the same ego that makes him a great recruiter, to me, I think can be a detriment to you, even when it's behind closed doors. Somebody's got to go in and sit Cal down and be like, listen, no disrespect, we need to start being better schematically.
Yes.
I mean, I'm watching the game, and Grady is sitting in the corner wide open the whole game. Every time a Kentucky guard would penetrate in the gap, Grady's just sitting over there in the corner wide open. And I'm not some sort of basketball schematical genius. I could come up, we'd run horns, we'd be able to switch defenses. I'd mix in a little 1-3-1 with some man. Depends on if we can switch 1 through 5. We'd be able to have a little press, a little token press, and press. But I'm watching Kentucky, and at no point did anything change. It was just like you thought that you were going to go out there and be like, you know what? I've got this guy, I've got this guy, I've got this guy, and you don't. And St. Peter's, every time Kentucky would punch them, they'd punch them right back. What I'm saying is Cal needs, like Blaine was saying, Cal needs somebody that can go in there and say, we need to start running this, and not, I guess, feel like it's a slight to him. Bring in the best players.
It's like almost, look at Nick Saban. And Nick Saban's great at both, right? Especially on the defensive side. But when has Bama ever had a bad coordinator on offense? A bad offensive coordinator? When? Bill was nice. I mean, you have Sarkisian. I mean, you're only as good as the guys you surround yourself with. And if you want the best, your ego can't get in the way to things, and that's how you lose to St. Peter's.
I mean, that's a school of 2,300.
Have you seen their gym? It's probably half court.
Yeah, their parents work at the concession stand during the halftime.
Exactly, David.
And they sell sour straws, pizza slices, Capri Suns, and those little Gatorades. And popcorn and then that nacho cheese.
You just got beat by
We're all kind of skeptical, but we all eat.
I think we have a clip, too, of the end.
Yeah, let's run the clip of the end of the Kentucky game. So you're down 6. I mean, you're getting worked. You're down 6. Keon Brooks is going to pull up for a triple into the game. And you know what's crazy? St. Peter's looks excited, but they're not going nuts. And Coach Holloway said something, and you look at Oscar, you just hate this for Oscar.
I hate this.
Who's a great kid, but that's part of the game. That's part of the game. Like, my thing is, Coach Holloway, who, by the way, I think it was Seton Hall versus Creighton. He had a game-winning shot in the tournament about 20 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago, hit a game-winning shot. He said, he had a great quote. He's like, everybody's like, wow, I can't believe you won. Like, how did you do it? He's like, we didn't come here expecting to lose.
Yeah.
We came here expecting a fight. He's like, what I told him was, it's just like we're playing at the Rec. When you're playing somebody at the Rec, you ain't looking at rankings or any of that stuff. You're going out there and you're just playing. You're just going out there and balling. And St. Peter's went out there and balled. And it just goes to show you. You know, and somebody tweeted out yesterday that St. Peter's in their shoot-around looked really low energy. Sometimes you can confuse low energy just because people aren't yapping. Okay. Maybe they're laser focused. Maybe they're getting ready to come in the first round of the NCAA tournament and whip your overrated ass. Maybe that's what it was. And that's what happened.
Oh, well, every team in this tournament is used to winning. That's why they're in the tournament. They're a winning team.
Or they're on a stretch in the conference tournament.
Yeah, they've won a certain amount of games to get in this tournament, so they're not just getting ready to lose games. They have winning mentalities. That's why they're in this tournament. It doesn't matter who you are. You're not out of the range of getting beat. There's no team in this tournament that's good enough not to lose to maybe a Wright State. Arizona's the best team, I think, in the nation.
I'm starting to get worried about that.
I mean, I'm not 100% comfortable with them watching against Wright State. I just watched Auburn and Jacksonville State play. Early in that game, I thought Jacksonville State was the Warriors.
Yeah.
So many threes. Nobody's safe in this bracket.
That's why it's the greatest postseason tournament in all of sports.
That's what I said.
I mean, really,
anything can happen.
We await the first day of March Madness. It's the greatest day to me.
Everybody goes in
16 first day, 16 games.
What do we always say? One ring to rule them all,
and the darkness shall bind you.
It's the truth. All right, what's the Booster Club saying?
Got a question here from Florida Josh. I like this one. What has been the biggest sports story of the last 30 days? Kentucky's loss, Brady coming back, or Russell Wilson going to Denver?
Easy one.
It's easy.
Tommy B.
It's Tommy B.
Tommy Brady.
Anytime the GOAT sneaks back on the ranch, It's the biggest story. Not that the other ones aren't big, or we're not going to give them air, but Tom Brady deciding to come back after less time than the MLB locked out because he just woke up making banana pancakes, listening to John Mayer every morning, and was like, no, I can't do this anymore.
I love me some John Mayer. All right, got a question here from
You're an
Crane
emotional
Gravity. Crane Crazy, CBA 12. What's up, guy? Do you guys think that they should do away with the one and dones?
No.
I really like the way baseball does it. Baseball has it right to me. Baseball says if you want to go play professionally straight out of high school, you can. But if you come to college, you're going to spend 3 years here. I always like the way they did it.
Yeah, some guys kind of usurp that rule by going to JUCO, but you can also kind of maybe do steroids. I don't know. That may have happened.
What is steroids?
Yeah. Well, a lot of the people don't realize that because they don't test for steroids in junior college.
Gotcha.
So my thing is this. Basketball is a totally different sport. There are some guys that are ready. Like, I'm telling you right now, Jabari Smith is ready to play
baptized
in the
that
NBA.
kid at the end.
Pablo Banchero, ready to play in the NBA. Chet is ready. I don't think he's going to be as good as what everybody thinks early. I think it's going to take some time. But if you're talking about would it make the college game better, hell yeah. But I wouldn't be upset if they stopped, saying, okay, the high school straight to the pro rule. And that's something where
you think they should re-implement that? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I think some guys are ready.
Okay.
But you got to look at what type of sport it is. You have a lot better chance of being ready coming out of high school or even 1 year in college going to the pros in basketball and even baseball as opposed to like football. Nobody in high school should be going from high school to the NFL. But I don't think you should cut down the one and dones because guys are ready. The biggest question, like Blaine was talking about earlier, I'll throw this back at you, is do you think it's a good formula for these high-level schools to use these one and dones? Because I'm looking at Duke, a lot of one and dones. You guys hadn't won it.
Yeah.
Zion didn't win it.
Chemistry's a real thing.
Kentucky.
These older guys played
Kentucky
together
with
for 4
Anthony
years.
Davis, who was just a monster, and a couple other guys, I think.
The more you play
too.
with each other, the less you think on the court. You're just reacting. You know where a guy's going to be when he's supposed to be there. You don't have to point at him. You know he's going to be there. And sometimes when you get in stressful, pressure situations, right, that's when the chem needs to be the best. The chemistry needs to be
you're
the
not
best.
worried so much about a guy being there.
Right? You know he's going to be there. And with these one and dones, sometimes it turns into individual basketball. Let me put it all on my shoulders and I do that and I'll do it. But once you run into these experienced teams and the NCAA that rely on each other and know exactly how the other one moves and thinks, that's what takes you up to another level to get you that win in championship moments.
Yeah, for sure.
And it kind of translates to the professional level, too, with some of these super teams we're seeing being put together and they just play one season together. You look at someone like Golden State, man, they've already won championships at the highest level with that core group. Yeah. Now, if they can stay healthy, that's the bigger question.
All right, got a question here from Cal Kennedy. What's up, Cal? Is there a team who may have struggled and their game was closer than expected that you think will improve going forward into the second round?
I got a couple, and I hate to say this, Cone. UCLA against Akron. That was a tight game. I think you could see UCLA, Look, we've seen this a million times. A team in the first round struggle, and then it almost like jolts the life into you. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
Like we almost lost. And that would have been it. You can it's like you died and you saw the light and they just brought you right back. They hit you with a defibrillator a couple times. I think UCLA's won. Arkansas's won.
What, 4% win?
Murray State. Murray State squeezed by San Francisco. Look,
so even though Kentucky lost, you think they're on?
They got St. Peter's now, which I guarantee they're stoked about having.
Oh my God! Yeah, are you kidding?
So who are you taking out of that?
Either you get a Purdue team that great offensively doesn't play,
and it wasn't like
you walk in hot to that game. I'm telling you, watch out for Murray State because it's starting to feel Cinderella-ish to me.
Yeah, if you go, because I think you're going to go Vatek, Purdue's going to beat Yale, obviously. You're going to have Vatek and Purdue, and that game that's a weird game for Purdue, the way that Virginia Tech plays. And if Purdue doesn't play defense and Storm Murphy, who's not an X-Men but probably should be, keeps playing that way and the rest of the gang, it's going to be a problem.
None of us are even giving Texas a chance. Should I stand up for Texas? I've been calling Va Tech this whole time. I don't know.
Listen, you can go out on a limb, but you know what they say, the branch may break.
I want to stay in the trust tree.
You'll stay in the trust tree. Stay here. Stay here. All right, Blaine, one more and we're going to move on.
All right, we got a question here. Someone said Bill O'Brien is trash. So he's pretty good in college.
National championship game.
Yeah,
46 mistakes. Who will be in the championship game in the NIT?
Vanderbilt. Did Vanderbilt already lose? Or are they still?
No, they beat Belmont. I think they may play again tonight. Look, Dayton's scary right now.
Dayton's pretty good.
With Anthony Grant. Dayton's a little scary right now. I would have to lean SEC probably. A&M, how pissed are they going to continue to be?
Florida.
I would default to an SEC team and probably Dayton. That's what I would think.
You want to know one?
Now let's move on. Let's move on. We'll get back to it.
You want to go some NFL action here?
Let's do it. You want to go 5 big questions?
Let's go 5 big questions.
Let's go 5 big questions.
Right, and just see how it plays out here.
Yeah,
Davante Adams. Can I talk to you
hair.
about Davante Adams here? He's
to
now a Raider. All right. He's a Raider, was traded for a first and second round pick this year. That gives the Packers 4 picks in the top 60. It ends the most successful quarterback and wide receiver combo in Packers history. They had 68 touchdowns combined for Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson had 65. And it reunites Davante Adams with quarterback Derek Carr from the Fresno State days. 5-year deal, $28.5 a year is what he's going to sign for. Your thoughts? Should he have stayed in Green Bay?
Look, my thoughts off the top is the AFC West. I mean, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Every day that division keeps getting better and better and better. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen next. Like, who the Chargers? I mean, Chargers just got Khalil Mack. I mean, they're racking up guys in the AFC West every day. I think, it's tough to beat college, right? You know, college sweethearts sticking together. You know, it's tough for that new guy coming in, you know, after the breakup in college and, you know, there's still that nostalgia. And you remember the time that this happened after the game, and you remember the time when your parents helped move you in and stuff like that. I think Davante Adams just went back to old nostalgia. But part of me thinks Davante Adams is sick of the drama.
Okay.
It's sick of the drama. Now that Aaron's going to be there, it kind of dies down a little bit, but it's always something with Aaron. Do you think maybe he just thought, you know, Aaron, unbelievable, witch of the highest order. Love playing with you. It was great. Thanks for the memories. Fall Out Boy style. But I'm going to go back to Derek because you know what? It's like this. It's like this with Derek Carr.
What if he doesn't catch as many passes out there?
Oh, Derek's going to
He's not going to catch the pass.
No, Derek's going to get him
He's
the ball.
not going to catch it.
Derek's going to get him the ball.
Not like Aaron Rodgers.
Not the amount of the Aaron. It was literally
Aaron Rodgers was handing the ball
Aaron
to
Rodgers
him
and
40 yards
Davante
down.
Who else are they going to throw it to?
They got a Waller.
Okay, the tight end.
Who?
So you're right.
Nobody
You're right. Tonyan
else-
never caught a pass for the Packers.
You know who the second guy with the most reception is for the Packers?
Who, Blaine?
Aaron Jones.
Okay.
They're running back. I'm
Okay.
saying, am I saying
Who's the second guy?
I'm not saying that he's not going to have a great production year at the Raiders, but like the Raiders don't want him to catch as many balls as the Packers. It was literally they're just so to Davante Adams or run it or throw it out of bounds. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about me, Aaron Rodgers signed his deal knowing that Davante Adams wasn't going to be there. I heard it this morning, knowing that he knew that he wasn't going to be there. They try to tag him, non-franchise tag, so you can go shop, right? They matched the deal with the Raiders, actually gave him more money. The thing about the Packers, which they've never done historically, is guaranteed money. They always guarantee a lot of money for that first year, and then for the later years, they don't. I guarantee the Raiders guaranteed it for at least 3 to 4 years with them, which makes a lot of sense. And if you're the Packers, and if you're the owners of the Packers,
So everybody,
if you do not,
everybody in Green Bay.
if you do not go get a receiver in this draft that you should have done a while ago, and you got Jordan Love as a quarterback, you should all be fired. You should get multiple receivers in this draft. Is it going to hurt the Packers from a production standpoint? Yes, it is. But it gets to the point where the only thing Aaron Rodgers was doing was throwing to Davante Adams. And when they took Davante Adams away, there was nobody else on that field that anybody was worried about. You go back to the 49ers game. I'm not saying anybody's arguing this. I'm just saying, go back to the 49ers game. What do they do? Take away Davante Adams. The Tampa Bay Bucs game in the playoff. What do? Take away Davante Adams. You have to invest now because you got Aaron basically for 3 years, 2 to 3 years. That's what you got. So you better go get some receivers right now or it's going to be a problem. And I do think you're right when it comes to the drama and stuff like that. Davante was sick of it. You know, you're going home, and it's a lot better to play in Las Vegas.
I'm going home.
Than it is in Green Bay.
Blaine, where does the Packers first pick? Where are they in the draft?
They got 2 first rounds.
4 in the first 60.
Okay,
so
it's very important
it's
where
20,
that
I
first
think 2 in the
is.
late 20s. I think late 20s.
Going for a receiver.
Because if I'm going to get one receiver, I'm telling you who it is, fellas. His name's Jamison Williams, but he's not lasting that long. He's not lasting in the 20s. I don't care if both his ACLs are messed up.
I'm telling you.
I think they have.
Or you trade?
Number
Do you
22,
trade for a?
So they have number 22 overall from
you can get him
Vegas.
there.
They have number 28 overall.
Yeah.
They have number 53 overall from Vegas, and they have 59 overall.
You're not getting him there.
So
you better
for-
either trade up or find somebody through. Free agency. It's tough.
So
to
is this
or make
more of a
trade.
case where Davante Adams just didn't want to be there and he didn't want to play under the franchise tag? He made that known. Or is this an example, what we were talking about the other day? You pay Aaron Rodgers that much money, you start to
What?
lose
Yeah. What?
pieces.
Why can't it be both?
Well, they gave Davante Adams more money than the Raiders offered him.
Yeah,
so that's not the problem. I think Davante wanted to get out.
I honestly think Davante, because he played with Derek before. They know each other. He knows what to expect from Derek Carr. You don't hear a lot of drama from Derek Carr. You don't hear. With Aaron, it's something every day. Oh, Danica Patrick hates me now. Oh, my family still hates me now. Like, oh, I want more money. I want half the budget in Green Bay.
So right now, all right, I've gone through some mocks and looked at it. Right now, 22, which Green Bay has. All right, Chris Olave.
That'd be a nice pick.
Ooh, I'm telling you
That'd be
right
a
now.
nice pick.
Jamison Williams is projected to go 17th.
Yep, I don't think
All
he
right.
get to the 20s.
You got Garrett Wilson at 18. And what you said 28th?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if Chris Olave is sitting there at 22, go snag him as quickly as you can.
And I'm telling you, Treylon Burks from Arkansas is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is a absolute
He's a problem.
One-on-one.
Put him on a math test.
It's always good when you play receiver and they have to special order you gloves
yeah.
to fit your hands. Like this kid's breaking through the gloves and he's a natural athlete who can judge.
So do you think he'll be the best wide receiver in this class?
I think Jamison
Williams.
Really?
Yeah, I think Jamison.
I might take
All right,
Chris Olave.
let's go to the next one.
Okay, let's go to the next one here. All right, so the Deshaun Watson trade, look, we've talked about it a bunch here, but it is officially down to the Falcons and the Saints. Same division, in the same division as Tom Brady. Which team would win more games?
Saints. Who dat?
Okay.
Saints.
All right.
Put him with Alvin, Simon, Theodore, the whole group.
Just remember, all right, a suspension is coming.
It is.
All right, so he's not going to play for most of this year. All right. Atlanta has going to have $100 million to spend next year on guys.
How much?
$100 million.
Why $100 million?
The salary cap next year to bring in talent. All right. And what Jake said, Deshaun Watson is going to attract more talent. All right. Robinson ended up going to the Rams. Paid him out the ass. I said
Allen
if
Robinson?
he ended up at the Falcons.
Oh,
but now who kind of comes out of the Rams? Kind of a guy who got hurt in the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, here we go.
Well, OBJ.
You think
Right? Who has something to prove? If you go look at his tweet, he said he got something to prove. He's talking to his kid about trusting daddy's going to show you how to get it done. You might see a little OBJ in Atlanta. I'm telling you. Right now, if Deshaun does get suspended, I think he will for at least 8 games. All right? That next year for Atlanta and the bread they're going to be able to have to spend, I mean, that's a recipe for something nice.
I hear you. All right, so word is Todd Golden.
Yeah.
Be the new basketball coach for the University of Florida.
Could be a
thoughts?
future guest on the show very soon.
Ooh.
I think it's a great hire. The last two, counting this one, the last 2 hires that Florida's made, I think Scott Strickland's balling a little bit.
Okay.
I love the Billy Napier hire. I think eventually he's going to get it going. But Todd Golden, people say, he's young. And look, Todd Golden can do it all. I'm just telling you, would talk about a guy that's respected in the coaching profession. You give him the resources that Florida has. I mean, he was out there in San Francisco, not the 49ers, out there with San Francisco doing things in the WCC. Now, they lost to Murray State, and I'm obviously not the biggest WCC guy around, as you know. But I think Todd, with those resources in the SEC, and look, the Southeastern Conference just keeps bringing in dog coaches. I'll tell you guys right now, Todd Golden, great hire. People will be skeptical, and that's fine. They can be skeptical hippo all day on this, and I get it. He's a young guy. Todd Golden can go out there and play right now. He's got the juice. He's got the juice. He's very good schematically. He's genuine. He can recruit any region of the country. This was another really good hire for Scott Strickland to go on top of the Billy Napier hire. A hell of a hire from Scott Strickland.
Nice. All right, last one here. I want to bring this up, switch to the NHL a little bit because we played that Austin Matthews clip with the cross-check earlier. He's come out. He's acknowledged that cross-check was unacceptable, but agreed with us that 2 games seemed excessive. He returns tomorrow to play the Preds here in Nashville. Should we go?
What time's the game?
I don't know. I don't know all these.
Look it up. We got. Wait, you said tomorrow?
It's sometime.
You said 2 days.
So, well, he comes back tomorrow against the Preds.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Man, with the NCAA tournament, that's going to be a tough pull, but I do have YouTube.
That's going to be a hard
TV
pass
on my
for
phone.
you.
Shout out YouTube TV.
Hard pass, but we'll watch it on TV.
For sure. Yes, I would love to go to the Preds game, and I'm starting to become a really big Austin Matthews fan.
Yeah.
Not that just because he agreed with this, but the more I watch him and go back and watch him, I mean, the dude, he can slap it.
And what he said after this, the statement he made, I'm just like, man, what a mature,
more mature than Baker Mayfield.
That's a fact. In which the Browns officially came out and said they are not going to acknowledge his trade request. Shocker.
They're like, do it. They're like, you want a divorce? Then do it.
Took you to the playoffs.
I don't believe you'll do it. All right, Blaine, one Booster Club question, and then we're going to,
All right, more USA with
thing.
the Napier hire. Will they have a shot at the college playoffs?
Like eventually?
This year
Not next
or ever?
Year. Not next year. My thing is you give Billy, with AR-15, Anthony Richardson, a quarterback, not this year, but the year after that, with the transfer portal, with the whole nother year recruiting, Florida is going to become scary again. That East, you added Shane Beamer. It's Beamer ball, baby. The mayor of mayonnaise. You got Billy Napier over there at Florida, who I'm telling you is going to get it right. Josh Heupel at Tennessee is going warp speed on offense. I'm interested to see how the NCAA handles that. Missouri with Drink, I'm telling you, eventually they're going to figure it out. On defense last year, they almost had to send FEMA down there. It was such a disaster. But I think Eli's going to turn it around. Vanderbilt, get out. Just get out.
It's time.
It's time. It's time for Vanderbilt to get out of. You know what we ought to do? You know how you have like different schools or like in conferences? Like Notre Dame is in a conference in basketball, right? Could we just keep Vanderbilt basketball and baseball?
And golf. And golf.
And
golf.
Out
to Vandy
and
golf.
just kick out the rest of them? Because I don't think Vandy's got a softball team, do they? Does Vanderbilt have a softball team?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't think they have a softball team. No, they don't have a softball team.
They don't.
So it could be a very easy fix. You get out in football. We're adding Oklahoma and Texas, okay, in the SEC. You can stay in baseball, have a lot of fun, guys. In basketball, you saw Stackhouse, them kind of turn around at the end, even though Scottie Pippen Jr. is leaving on a jet plane, and there's no telling when he'll be back again. So I think Vanderbilt should get out of the SEC in football.
I agree. I mean, I feel bad just watching them get beat. I was watching that Georgia game.
You're getting too much money. Y'all are getting too much money for doing nothing.
We're playing a little kid team. And I just felt so bad. At some point, you have to make the decision, this isn't good for our football team. It's just not. Getting clobbered week in and week out in the SEC, it's just not fun. Let's join another conference in football. Try to win 8 games.
Go to the AAC. That'd be such a
something
good fit.
like that.
Oh, that'd be such a good fit.
If you're Clark Lee, I'm screaming it out of the top of a mountain.
I'm like, guys, are you seeing what's happening out here? There's not a scheme in the world outside of their bus breaking down and not making it to the game because we popped the tires of us being able to win this. Like, what do I look like, Professor X?
Restrictions academically is just tough to compete, in the SEC football.
It's the truth.
It is. It's like you're not going to have usually, and I don't know the stats on this, so I don't have a pie chart. Usually
I'm not smart enough to get into Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I'm not either. But usually, like the super talented, big, fast, strong guys. They're not getting 4.1 GPA.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens.
It's rare.
That's a big deal. But that's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. All right. If you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head over to the Daily Wire and become a member or be super lame. Or you can listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share it with your friends. We're trying to just keep growing as fast as humanly possible. It's been awesome so far, and we got some big news and announcements coming up as well. So we'll be right back in a minute to blow your mind with more of the best sports takes, predictions, and the chalkboard of emotional friendship and justice very shortly.